All you have to do to declare bankruptcy is say, I declare bankruptcy! All right, y'all, thanks for clicking on today's video. We're going to be talking about some more economic indicators that aren't looking so great. These are all kind of like canaries in the coal mine. These are like very, the initial indicators of stuff's gonna go bad or go sideways, which is why you should be getting ready, you should be preparing, whether that's, maybe looking at investing in precious metals, diversifying your cash, diversifying your cash flow, starting a homestead, planting food, growing food, storing food, stocking up your pantry, all these different things. If your economic scenario is looking very vibrant and not bleak, all the more prepare now if times get tough or even if they don't, so you have something to fall back on. So I'm gonna go through this, and this is up in Canada, okay? Millennials dominate insolvencies in Canada as credit cards, student loans, and other debts pile up. And the next great bubble to pop is the student loan bubble, which is why Uncle Joe was trying to absolve everybody's student loan debts and all that stuff, because he's a good Catholic. Home, absolve, right? Okay. He's a very good Catholic, yo. Okay. As millennials distinguish themselves as the buy now, pay later generation, their Canadian counterparts are leading the way when it comes to insolvencies. According to Ontario-based insolvency trustee firm Hoyles Michalos, which performs an annual Joe debtor analysis, according to Doug Hoyes, millennial Canadians have been dealt a generational losing hand as debts from credit cards, high interest loans, and tax debt and debt owed from the country's taxable financial support during the pandemic, known as the Canadian Emergency Response Benefit, or CERB. All right, so there's another new acronym for you, CERB. I think there's a whole bunch of whammies that have hit millennials, says Hoyes. The CERB was the final straw that broke the camel's back. In 2022, Joe Debtor examined 2,700 personal insolvencies filed in Ontario. Hoyes Michaelis says 49% were filed by millennials aged 26 to 41, even though they make up 27% of adult Canadians. All right, so they make up about a quarter of adult Canadians, but they comprised half of the insolvencies, all right? And so this is an economic indicator. The study found that on a per population basis, millennials were 1.4 times more likely to file for insolvency than people in Generation X, age 42 to 56. Oh, that would make me a Gen Xer, y'all. I always get confused of what category, what box they stuff me into. So I'm Gen X, right? I'm so glad that I know that now. And 1.7 times more likely than baby boomers, age 57 to 76. Insolvent millennials were on average 33 years old and owed an average of $47,000 in unsecured debt. So if you're unaware of what unsecured debt is, it's stuff like credit cards and student loans. 40 and an average of 47, that's insane. According to Hoyes, many people didn't set aside taxes when they received CERB and other pandemic-related relief funds. Now, a flood of young Canadians have found themselves insolvent. Oh, because of the tax man. Oh, because they gots to pay, homie. You gots to pay. Oh, you don't got the tax payment? Oh, you gots to pay. Oh, your landlord, we'll make your landlord not evict you. This is a value for value proposition. So if you like our content, like the material we're putting out, please go to TheTexasBoys.com and check out our awesome products and purchase some of our organic non-vaccinated honey, or check out our coffees, teas, maybe some Texas native mud. Hey, maybe you're not ready to buy anything, right? Hey, now you can buy us a coffee. So if you like our content and you want to support us, check out the buy me a coffee link down below, and you can buy us some coffees. And that's just another way that y'all can support the channel, support what the boys are doing, support these different things on the homestead. We have lots of infrastructure planned. We need wells, we need water, right? We need more infrastructure to make this system as closed looped as it can be and be more efficient and more effective. And your landlord, he don't gotta get paid. But the tax man gotta get paid, y'all. That's cool. That is funny. That's government for y'all. So that is the beast system. And it's a beast, y'all. And it's not like America beast, Canada beast. It's a global beast system. That's why they're all in on it. And that's why they all do things relatively the same, right? And that's why they all have their mandates and their shots and their travel passes and all that stuff. And we just watch, and it does, and Russia does it, China does it, America does it. They all walk to it's lockstep. It's the same lockstep. According to Hoyes, many people didn't set aside a tax money. Hoyes says the millennials have been given a bum rap and didn't enjoy the same societal benefits as older generations whose wages kept up better with inflation and went to college when tuition didn't require student loans, right? And how did the whole student loan debacle come to being? Oh, we'll subsidize student loans from the federal government and we'll make it so that students can't default on their student loans, right? We'll make that like illegal, you know, like my dad said, illegal is a sick bird, right? We'll make that illegal and we'll subsidize these loans. And what that'll do is that'll drive up the cost of tuition. And that way the ivory tower technocrats can stuff their pockets in their institutes of higher learning while they hand out pieces of paper that are absolutely worthless so that people write articles like, is an MBA worth the paper it's printed on? Just Google that. You'll find hundreds of articles that talk about an MBA is not worth the paper it's printed on, and it's certainly not worth the price tag. He also says that there's no safety valve like there used to be. Anything goes wrong like a pandemic or you lose your job, think about that. Oh, there's no safety valve if anything goes wrong like a pandemic. Oh, so what do you mean? Like if you wanted to like crash a financial system, you'd lock everybody in their house and you'd say that there's like a pandemic.
Never had that happen before.
And you like lock the entire world down regardless of whether they're communist, fascist, socialist, capitalist, right? And they all did the same thing. That's weird. It's weird. And and there were ramifications to that. And there weren't any safety nets. But yet there was a curb. But the problem is you got to pay tax on the curb, dog. You got to pay tax on the curb. So you'd be all right, but you got to pay the tax man. Yeah, that is cool. You know, IRS is thug life, I'm just saying. Anything goes wrong like a pandemic or you lose your job or you get sick or you get divorced and boom, there's no safety valve there. Who added that filing for bankruptcy is an option to eliminate debts. However, most people end up working with insolvency trustees to file proposals to manage their debt. It becomes an affordable way, and you can't bankrupt from student loan debt, by the way, thanks to the Gooberman. Thank you, Gooberman. It becomes an affordable way to eliminate debt. They really have no other choice. According to Winnipeg-based credit counselor Sandra Fry, many young people are looking for ways to manage debt without declaring bankruptcy. Now, for any of y'all that are interested in declaring bankruptcy, I'm going to show you how to do it. And I'm not a lawyer, okay? I'm not a lawyer. I didn't play one on national TV, and I didn't stay at a Holiday Inn Express last night.
And you're not giving financial advice.
And I'm not giving financial advice. But all you have to do to declare bankruptcy is say, I declare bankruptcy! No, just a joke. That's a joke. Okay. And that's not even my joke, y'all, but I thought it was pretty funny. Okay. Unfortunately, a lot of people out there are living on the edge of their affordability, she said, adding that inflation is really squeezing Canadians in general from all sides. So there's a pandemic, there's a lockdown, there's curb, right? There's bailout stuff, right? Oh, but wait a minute, now there's inflation. Oh, another government debacle. Oh, remove a gold standard and have no real money or have nothing behind your money, right? And now you got to worry about inflation. And you give your entire constitutional legal right to print money, and you give it to a banking cartel, and you let them print money and then loan it back to you at interest. And that's what very non-intelligent people that enjoy serfdom and enjoy slavery, that's what they do. Well, unless you're in the just us system, and then you get to participate and stuff money in your pockets that come out of the printing press. So there is that too. I was declaring bankruptcy. So everyone just came to check on me. They heard me declare bankruptcy. So it's official, y'all. I just declared bankruptcy. Okay? But they were scared. They thought something bad happened. Nothing bad happened. I'm just goofing. I'm just being a goofball. Okay, so here we go. Sorry, back to the article. Unfortunately, a lot of people out there are living on the edge of affordability, she said, adding that inflation is really squeezing Canadians. Okay, millennial clients she's dealt with lately have often had variable interest rate mortgages and rate hikes. Y'all, if you have a variable interest rate mortgage, you really need to try to figure out how to lock that in. Man, I don't have any tips for you on that one because that is just a bad news anyway, slice it. And it's kind of too late, but Dave Locke, 31, lives with his wife in Coquitlam, BC, east of Vancouver, and the couple sought Fry's help with their mortgage payments jumped dramatically in the middle of a costly renovation. Oh. Locke, who works for a real estate brokerage. Wow. He worked for a real estate brokerage and he got conned into a variable rate mortgage. Wow, that's a sucker. And he's like fixing up his house. That is just bad. So much, you know, young people are not taught anything anymore. They're not taught fiscal responsibility. They're not taught how money works. They're not taught anything. If you want to do something for the world, teach your kids how to be fiscally responsible. This is terrible. This guy's like married and he's like 31 years old. He worked for a real estate brokerage, got into the housing market at a young age, having worked in the oil and gas industry after high school. He ended up buying a home in Coquitlam with his wife Tara, who works in labor relations, and the Bank of Canada's rate hikes eventually saw their monthly mortgage payments jump 40%. The couple had a construction loan with their bank to fund the renovations, and as interest rates climbed and the price of construction materials ballooned, Locke realized something had to give even with their relatively high combined incomes. I'm still paying the full balance, Locke said. I'm just not paying any additional interest. He says that while it's embarrassing to be in so much debt, it's just the way it goes. You have to kind of swallow your pride. And it's fascinating, y'all. You know what else is fascinating? That Canada is having financial problems too. And Canada is having to raise their interest rates. So Canada is a different sovereign country than America, but they're having all the same financial problems and they're having inflation problems. I wonder if this quote unquote Federal Reserve that isn't federal, and I wonder if it's the same banking cartel that does all their banking, you know, like the Anglo-American establishment and the Rockefellers and the Rothschilds and all those guys. But so this is just another economic indicator. We're starting to see the squeeze on the millennials. Maybe it's in part because nobody taught them how to be a responsible human being, or, you know, a lot of people are just getting caught short. A lot of people are so busy with just trying to live their life and exist, they get stuck like this. And, you know, we joke around a little bit because you kind of have to, because the news is just crazy and insane. And hopefully, you know, hopefully it makes it a little more interesting to watch. But all right, y'all, thanks for watching. We'll see you on the next video. Bye.